Let's take a look at translations example 1. We're going to look at a verbal, algebraic rule, table, and graphic way of looking at this one example. So we're given triangle ABC with A at -1, 1, B at 2, 4, and C at 4, 1. We're told to translate triangle ABC left 4 units and up 1 unit. So let's go ahead and write out our algebraic rule from what they've told us. So left 4 units affects our x value. So we write all the points x and y are going to be translated, and left 4 units means we have to take away 4 from every x value. And then up 1 unit means we have to add 1 to each y value. So that is considered our algebraic rule. It's how we write it in math symbols to represent what was said in words. Now we're going to take this algebraic rule and insert it right here in our table. So let's see. I'm going to move x minus 4, y plus 1 right here in my table. Let me get a slightly smaller pen to do this part. There we go. X minus 4, y plus 1. So we need a little more information to fill in our table, but thankfully they gave us lots of good information in our verbal description. We have our pre-image coordinates A, B, and C. So let's write those down in our table. A is -1, 1, B is 2, 4, and C is 4, 1. So now we're going to use our transformation algebraic rule to figure out the coordinates of the image. So I'm going to just focus on the table for a minute, and using the coordinates A, B, and C, we're going to apply the rule that we've written above there. So we're going to say -1 minus 4 and 1 plus 1 is going to give us our image coordinates of -1 minus 4 would be -5, and 1 plus 1 gives us 2. For the next coordinate, for B, we got to say 2 and apply the same rule. So 2 minus 4, and then for the y value, we have 4 plus 1. And then that's going to give us 2 minus 4 is -2, and 4 plus 1 gives us 5. And then for the third coordinate, we have 4 minus 4, and 1 plus 1 will give us 4 minus 4 is 0, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Notice in your table that you're applying this rule to each one of the x values, and then the rule that goes with the y value to each y value in your table. So that stays consistent. Alright, so now we've got the verbal description we were given, the algebraic rule that we wrote down first. We use that to help with our table. We just need to put these on the graph. So the green coordinates are our image coordinates. So we use a little symbol called prime to represent that these are no longer the original coordinates. They're now the image after the translation occurred. Alright, so let's draw a nice y-axis on our graph and an x-axis on our graph, and then I'm going to keep my color scheme going and graph the pre-image in blue. So -1, 1 would be the coordinate for A, 2, 4, so right 2 up 4 is B, C is at 4, 1, so that is my pre-image triangle of ABC. Grab my green pen. So now the image is going to be in green. -5, 2 is A prime. -2, 5 is B prime. And then C prime is 0, 2. Let me make it look a little straighter. Alright, so what we should see is that all these parts of representing the same problem go together. So we were given a verbal description. We were able to then write the algebraic rule. We used that rule to fill in our table, and we used the table to graph. Now we should be able to finish up by checking that this makes good sense. So from B to B prime, for example, we would have to move up 1 and left 4. So notice that coordinates with what we told ourselves from our verbal description. It was left 4 and up 1. So from A to A prime, notice you have to go left 4, up 1. From C to C prime, you have to go left 4, up 1, and so on. So they all go hand in hand with one another.